answer the chat. Be ready on that. So we're live. Hi everyone. I'm just going to make sure before the Facebook loads here, because the echo starts the minute the Facebook loads on my computer. So before I start, I'm just waiting for the Facebook to load, and I hope it just goes. Yeah, and it's good off. Hi everyone, and we are live and welcome. We have a very special guest today as well. As usual, I think I'm getting piled up by guests all over the world, and each one is bringing so much energy to this platform that we are creating, this book that we are creating. And it seems that, I think I'll have 10 volumes now because of the kind of response I'm getting, and it won't stop at 100. So we have Vandana here from Bangalore joining us. Welcome, Vandana.
Hi,
And
Shika.
yeah, she's joining us
Hey,
from Bangalore.
guys.
She has
Thank you so
a lot of
much.
less interesting stuff to share with us. Vandana, why don't you introduce yourself, and let's move forward from there. Introduce yourself, what you do, and then we'll take your mother's journey, and then we'll move on to whatever you are doing as an impact.
Sure. Thank you, Shika. Hi, guys. I'm from Bangalore. I'm a hardcore Bangalorean. My name is Vandana Boggaram. I'm a mother of two beautiful, adorable girls. I am a perfumer by profession. So you must be wondering, perfumery, wow, it's like a really cool job. You know what? It is. I love my job. What I do is I make perfumes for incense sticks, and I head the R&D department. It is my zone. I feel so peaceful, and I feel I have my space there. So that's the best part of my life. And I'm a director at Sarthi International INC. That's where we manufacture incense sticks, and we export it to around 45 countries across the world. I am also a founder of World of Women, which is an organization focused, non-government organization focused on menstrual management among rural women across India.
Lovely, lovely. That's quite something, Vandana. And before we move on to, I always ask mothers that you've had a mother's journey now for 17 years, or you said older one is 17 years.
Yes,
How
that's
was your
right.
mother's journey, and how did you transition and decided to still keep showing up for your work? When did you decide that showing up for work was very important? What was the reason? Why did you want to come up? So let's take that journey of you as a mom, and you have these two beautiful girls. Please tell us their names, and how do you feel being a mom, of 17-year-old now, and also heading so many things that you are doing. I mean, we just introduced two things, but when Vandana actually sent me to write under her design, they were so long. So I said, Vandana, can you just select any two things for me that I can write under your name? So she has many, many, many things attached to her, and she's showing up for her children, she's showing up for the world. And how do you do that? What's the secret, Vandana, there?
Actually, Shika, it's not, it's not like a secret or anything. Yeah. Initially, first time when you're a mother for the first time, it's always a little, there's a lot of anxiety. It's a first experience. You don't know what to expect. You don't know, how to react to situations. So yes, during my first pregnancy and post my first child, there were a lot of new things. So it was a different experience for me. But as you go, it becomes a beautiful journey. Right from changing diapers, and you don't know why they're crying. You have lack of sleep. You don't know what they're crying for. Is it for food, or do they have any stomach pains? And you have absolutely no sleep. Your whole lifestyle and circle around you is very compact. You cannot go out how you used to earlier. So there's a lot of lifestyle changes, and you don't get time with your husband, and your whole world is upside down. But after 17 years, I can tell you, I don't remember any of it. All that I remember is the whole beauty of the journey. My daughters, my children are my world. They become part of my world. You ask me how I'm able to manage, and how I'm able to manage despite having my children. But you know what? It's I'm able to manage because of my children.
Lovely.
uh, they're not like a stress for me, but they're my stress buster. They're my biggest fans. For them it doesn't matter if if I've won something or if I've lost something. My losses, my failures, they love me in spite of all that.
Yeah.
When I come home, there is stability, there is peace, there is little arms coming and hugging me, completely inconsiderate of what I must have gone through in the office or at workplace.
Right.
So there's unconditional love.
Right.
So that is my anchor. That gives me stability in my life.
Right.
So yes, my children are my strength. They're the wind, beneath my wings.
Oh, that's lovely. That's a beautiful way to say it. And I that's what this whole movement is all about. That many mothers get lost with lack of support sometimes, situations around them, environment around them, lack of knowledge, whatever situations take them through that. And one, two, three. There's some mothers who have five kids, and the things just keep building up for them. And somehow, this whole new world that has come up, they're unable to really cope up. And then it's expected as moms to be this strong pillar for the house who's actually showing up. Because you're a mom, right? You're supposed to forget a lot of your things, and that's what takes these moms down the road. And that's what this movement is all about.
Actually, Shika, see, I think more than moms, we're all human beings. We make mistakes. So, we always, moms don't always have to be right. They always don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be the pillar. Sometimes these little minds and little people, they can be your support system. You get to learn so much from them. And the trick to that, I feel, is just be yourself, to
That's what
accept.
the movement is about, Vandana. So what I'm trying to say is that that's what the feeling comes to a lot of moms, and they stay there. They stay there. They are sometimes moving heavy-footed, not understanding where the way out is. Is there a way out, or is this what motherhood is supposed to be? And that's why I started this whole journey, to make these moms feel and get these inspiring mom stories out, to make them feel that it's possible, that these 100 shades in the book, or maybe 1,000, or I don't know how many are joining in, are going to become these shades which are going to speak to some or the other mom, because not every shade speaks to every mom. There's so many kinds of mothers. Somebody might speak to you, somebody might be able to understand me. And these stories, when they unfold in the book, are going to speak to many mothers, to uplift them, to say you don't have to, you don't have to. And make your children your reason, as you just mentioned, to rise. And that's why this book is becoming, like, I don't know how to explain it to you, that I'm meeting many moms who just needed to hear that yes, you can rise. And then they connect to it, they understand it, and then they want to move forward. And the reason I'm doing these interviews at the moment is so that at least you can be heard by different moms who are still showing up. But honestly, there are a lot of moms who really are there, who really need to show up. Forget about show up as an entrepreneur. Forget about showing up as a professional. Forget about everything else. Just show up for yourself. To show up, to wake up and feel, I feel life. And that's where this journey is taking. That they stop feeling that life. And I know some of the moms who are grandmothers, on I know many around me here in India as well, who will think that we became mom, then became grandmoms, and then we're sitting here now for our life, to end because it's too late. And then I have inspiring people like Debbie and Lucy, who are, crushing it by being grandmoms. And Lucy is all of 75 and totally crushing it. She interviewed me. So the reason to bring all this together, and why the pulse, is to inspire them and to make them feel that make your children your reason to grow. And that's why I keep asking every mom who comes here, what do you feel? And I'm glad that you said that they became your reason, and they're your reasons to keep moving forward. A lot of moms do things they wouldn't do for themselves. They do it only because they want to show up for their children. They want to be that inspiration. And that's my urge to moms. And that's why this beautiful movement is started. So,
Absolutely.
moving on from there, let's talk about what you're doing in the space. And it's amazing what you're doing in the space of with women of what was the name of the organization? Women. I'm
World
sorry.
of Women.
World of Women. Sorry, I have so much data in my
It's
head
okay.
with so many moms in so many countries and time zones. So, World of Women, what is it all about? Let's talk about that. And it's pretty inspiring. I think many mothers will get inspired to move forward, if not show up as entrepreneurs, but show up as what you're doing. So, just let's talk about that.
So just to give you a context, so there are 336 million menstruating women in India, out of which only 12% use sanitary napkins. The remaining amount of people cannot afford sanitary napkins, and they use different shocking methods such as cloth, rags, husk, sand, ashes. So the reason for World of Women to be born was to educate these women on menstrual management, to bring in awareness. And every one girl out of 10 girls miss their school due to lack of menstruation management awareness,
Right.
so which is not necessary. So what World of Women does is, we educate these women on how to manage your menstruation. What is a pad? Menstruation is not a shame, it's not a disease, it's not a curse. It is
Right.
something that you should be proud of. It's a symbol of celebration of motherhood.
Right.
You don't
Right.
have to miss school to manage your menstruation. You don't have to miss work just because you're menstruating. You can still do everything. Just, you need to understand how to manage it. It's
Right.
it's very normal for people like us, but in rural sectors and in a lot of underdeveloped and the grassroots level of women, they're still struggling. So,
Right.
but this is a very very progressive area wherein there's a lot of light and a lot of organizations like us for campaigning for this awareness. And the Prime Minister of India also brought it up in his recent last year speech at Independence Day speech. So there's a lot of support from the government also. So the statistics are definitely changing, and things are looking up. And yeah, hopefully we hope to achieve dignity, that every woman has the dignity to live a happy and a healthy menstrual life.
Right. And that's amazing. And what are the different programs that you've done under that shade of
So what we do is, we first of all we educate these girls or women on menstruation, saying that it's not something that you should be ashamed of. Clear all the taboos, the myths that surround the menstruation. And we talk about the hormonal changes, and saying it's okay to feel a little low during your menstruation, or for your creativity to increase during menstruation. And we talk about nutrition, what is the kind of food that you need to eat during menstruation. And nothing very fancy, or nothing that they cannot afford, but with basic home remedies, using kitchen as your pharmacy. And we also talk about sanitary pads, how to use it. And even if you're using cloth, it's okay to use cloth, but what kind of cloths, and how you dry it, how you clean it, that is more important. And how you dispose these cloths or sanitary napkins. And we also teach them yoga that will help them in their cramps or leg pains or back pain during their menstruation.
right.
So, and we've also recently spoken with corporate women and corporate places, wherein to bring in that compassion and empathy among co-workers, male and female co-workers.
Awesome. I mean, this is a great job, Vandana. Well done. And I think it's really, really needed. And I have put in the link for worldofwomen.com, and also the link for the website for her incense stick company. And these are two really drastic things. But what I liked about it is that you talked about the story that it started from your factory, and you saw that these factory women was suffering and women needed this help, and then you've extended it. What's the plan with World of Women ahead? What's the plan with World of Women ahead?
So during the COVID season, where we could not go to events and host educational sessions like in schools or colleges or government schools, colleges, slums, destitute homes, and we in fact did one event in the prison, women prison cell, the Agrahara jail. So during COVID, where we were not able to go to these places and do these awareness sessions, what we did was we launched a book, a simple handy book that any girl, any child, any woman should be able to read it and understand it, and share it with 10 other people.
Lovely. That's
So very educational book, including all these elements. And one of the most important parts is including men also in menstruation. If you don't explain to them how you're feeling, what you go through menstruation, they will not understand. And no, it's not okay. They need to know.
right.
They need to be empathetic.
Yes. And I think a lot of awareness has come in India, just to let the international audience know. Some of the actors have actually picked up these issues in some movies and gone ahead and done some movies to, just because they are popular actors, and they've gone ahead and done some movies, and the popularity has increased. And it's definitely, when we were children, even like being when we were kids, it was considered that you can't talk about it. Many things were happening, and it's changing. And it's absolutely amazing that people like you, the government of India, and many other NGOs and influential people are putting their focus on this. And that's what I was just telling you before, and I'll just tell the audience that I just think that there should be a separate supplementary, it's not a supplementary, but a focus book next to this book, which would just maybe just focus on these moms that I'm finding across the world who are working as very solid in the space of NGOs. And that could be like a focus book with the big book, and those moms can go in that and have 10-15 moms there who I find in the similar space like Vandana is, and who need that, that focus, that okay, let's see these 15 moms, what are they doing. So something like that might develop now, Vandana, thanks to your idea. And I might actually do that and put an NGO section, which is just like dedicated to these issues, because yes, we are dealing with an issue which is a pulse of a mother, like the mother who's actually trying every single day to show up, just trying to show up, and I feel for them, because the more I'm speaking and the more I'm into this movement, a lot of times what happens is I just like sitting there with this energy of moms surrounding me, saying that really, why did we just wait, wasted so many years just sitting and waiting and didn't try to show up. And I hope that this self-portrait journey makes them see how beautiful they are. They can start discovering themselves. They can figure it out that, it's not about looking beautiful. It's about your stories. It's about, standing up for your children so that they can look up for somebody. They can look up to somebody around them and say, whoa, they don't have to look at some television or some, internet thing to be somebody like somebody else. They should say, I'm going to be like my mom and look at her. And then what happens is we don't express, we don't figure out, we don't show up. And then even our children sometimes don't connect to that. And then it's just a silent mother exit when the children have grown up. And then mother just, tries to exit and sit down and think, now what do we do? Children have left. So even that pulse is there of mothers. And I hope that it's absolutely a very gentle movement, Vandana. It's not a movement where I'm starting to attack anybody or say stand up or any slogans. It's just holding hands together across the world, saying that high time, stop doing it. Let's be our inspiration to our children. And that's what this book is going to be. And if this NGO book comes out, that's going to be a different inspiration altogether. And I'm sure you get more support to your NGO when a separate book comes as a focus book with this. So this is amazing. What's your dream, Vandana? What's your dream in life?
My dream? Funny you should ask.
Dreams, it's called. So let's manifest that dream, throw it in the universe with whichever moms are watching it, and then figure it out. What's your dream?
Okay, let me be honest, Shika. My dream, where I see myself, in 3 years or 5 years, my dream is to be a homemaker. Yeah. I think, it's very important for women to have stability in their homes. I see myself cooking good food, nutritious food, taking care of the nutrition of the family, and then making my home a place, a warm and a welcoming place for my husband, my children, my in-laws, my aging grandparents. I want to be that aunt who is there. Growing up, I've had my mom, my aunts, my parents for me by my side all the time, whether I'm happy, whether I'm sad, whether I'm scared. I've always found them just around me. So I want to be that aunt or that mom who's there for her children. And I want to listen to stories, my nephew, my niece, about their girlfriends, and tomorrow if they want something, I want to always be available for them. So I see myself as a homemaker in the near future.
Yeah, and
Yes,
that
that's my dream. That's my dream. One day I want to sit. I want to, sit at home, and I want to, make my home that, beautiful space for people to come, make them feel welcome, and, be there for them.
right. And it's amazing because every mom has different dreams, what they
Yes.
not found, they want to find that. What this, so every mom's dream, I hope, comes true through this book. Once they are part of this book, part of this movement, this universe, I keep praying that their dreams should come true. And someday post COVID, I will meet these moms somewhere, some part of the world, holding these books in our hand and talking about it and figuring it out. These 100, I can't imagine myself sitting with these 100 moms. And Frances is here. She's one of my pillars, and this is the time to actually announce my pillars, because I promise that my pillars are always going to be announced, and because their support is tremendous. Frances is one of my pillars, and she might just think, she's there in the comments, she might just think, why I've been made a pillar. But I know that she's showing up. She's showing up for, not for me, she's showing up. We've just known each other just for merely 2 months, I think 3 months maximum. And she's showing up for this movement. She's showing up for these mothers. She's making sure that she's praying that this movement goes ahead. And that matters to me. What doesn't matter to me that sponsors come in or don't come in. I don't want any sponsors. I want that energy to come in, to join these hands, and just across the world, this globe and this hands joining across the world saying, let's do it. And that's why Francis is one of my pillars. Debbie is one of my pillars. And we have now Kirtana Ramarapu joining in from India, who's also helping me left, right, and center with a lot of energy, lifting me up, because there's so much happening that I'm banking on these people for telling me, don't give up, keep moving. We are handling the front. Some fronts they're trying to handle for me. So thank you, Francis. Thank you, Debbie, and thank you, Kirtana. Welcome and join the pillars for this movement. We also have some cheerleaders who are not moms. There'll be men who will be cheerleading this whole thing, and they will keep coming in for the interviews because they really believe in what this movement is doing, and they want to come in for interviews because I'm sure, hearing the word self-portrait from me next 100 days, everybody will go crazy. So I will have to bring in the cheerleaders and talk about what they feel about it, and just like give little breaks in middle with interesting stuff happening. So thank you, Vandana, for joining in. Good luck with your NGO, and I'm sure we are throwing the NGO intention out in the world, in the universe, and universe will come 100-fold back to help you. And let's see if the second book, which I'm trying to do, a focus book on just NGOs across the world, maybe you're the beginning chapter of that. So let's do that. Thank you so much, and I'm going to go off, Francis. The movement
Um,
is so important, and these
Shika,
women. Yes, yes.
I'd like to say a thank you note, and by saying thank you, I want to sing a small song,
Please do that. Please
dedicate
do
a
that.
small song. It's like a small traditional spiritual song based on Krishna.
Right.
Achyutam Keshavam Krishna Damodaram रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं कौन कहते हैं भगवान आते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं तुम मीरा के जैसे बुलाते नहीं, अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान नाचते नहीं, तुम गोपी के जैसे नचाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्। कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, कौन कहते हैं भगवान खाते नहीं, तुम बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं, तुम बेर शबरी के जैसे खिलाते नहीं। अच्युतं केशवं कृष्ण दामोदरं रामनारायणं जानकी वल्लभम्. Thank you. So, this was a song based on Lord Krishna's fables, where all the stories have one common message, which is belief. Believe
Right.
in yourself, believe in your dreams, believe with
Right.
conviction, believe so hard that the entire universe is in alignment to make your dream come true.
Right.
Believe, because faith can move mountains. On that note, thank you, Shika Khanna, for this wonderful opportunity. Wishing you all the very best and wishing all those moms to chase their dreams. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Vandana. This is beautiful. Every mother's bringing so much energy, and this is gorgeous. And of course, this is one of my songs I've grown up with my grandmother. So you took me back, my childhood. I almost wanted to sing with you, but I tried not to spoil the whole thing. But thank you so much. This is beautiful, and I absolutely agree with you that the belief is the key. And I think this movement has gone even beyond belief now. I know it. It's gone beyond, like, it's just happening. It's a reality already. It's becoming the reality. So the belief part has also gone behind, and now it's almost turning, and it's just becoming real, and forming. And thank you so much for this blessing, for this end of this interview. It was lovely, and I welcome you to be one of the champions of our movement. Thank you so much, Vandana. I'm
Thank
going to go
you.
off.
Thank you.
Francis, thank you for all your love. And I just love her. I love Francis as well, and I love her energy. So thank you so much for showing up, Francis. And I shall go off stream. Don't go off. We'll just go off live.